Okay, I'm gonna do some more problems that we didn't have a chance to do in class. So these are coming from page 23 and 24. So when you have an equation that you need to solve, you can solve it by finding the common denominator. So in between these three things, the common denominator is gonna be 3 times x plus 4. So the way to solve these is you multiply each term by the common denominator. And you can kind of do that like off to the side or somewhere else. I don't know, I'll just do it right here. So I'm gonna multiply this. Let me do it this way. I don't want to use parentheses. Let me do it this way. Times 3x plus 4 over 1. And then you can cancel. So these little guys are gonna cancel. So my first term right here is gonna be x times x plus 4. So I'm gonna hold on to that. Okay, now this one I'm gonna multiply, scoot over. I'm gonna multiply this one by the common denominator. And so you can see what we're trying to do is we're trying to get rid of the fractions and make them not fractions. So these are gonna cancel out. I'm just gonna have a 10. So I'm gonna put that down here, plus 10. And now I'm gonna do this one. X plus 4 times my common denominator. And so these little guys cancel out, and I have 5 times 3 is 15. So now I have an equation that's much easier to work with, and I'm just going to solve it. So I'm going to do my whoopie whoop, plus 4x. Okay, I'm going to, I know that sometimes when I have an x squared, I can do my zoop. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to move this guy over here. It might not work. So negative 15 and negative 15, I'm going to end up with x squared plus 4x minus 5 equals 0. So can we factor this? The factors of 5 are only 5 and 1. It's going to be a negative and a positive, so I can factor it. It would be x plus 5 and x minus 1. And we have this situation that we worked on, but it's been a while, where it's called the zero product rule, where we know one of these has to be 0. So I think you guys remember this. You make them both equal to 0, and then you end up with x equals negative 5, or, we don't know which one, x equals 1, and that would be the answer. Okay, I'm going to do one more if I don't run out of memory. Okay, so here's the next problem. You can see that the common denominator would be 2 times x minus 1. I'll just leave that stuck up there. So now I'm going to multiply each of these by the common denominator. Oops, that's a minus sign. Times, hopefully we don't run out of storage. Okay, so these two will cancel out, and I'm going to get a 6. Equals, okay, now here's the next one. 1 over 2 times 2x minus 1 over 1. So my 2's are going to cancel, and I'm left with just a x minus 1. And then I see this subtraction sign here, so I'm going to deal with that right away. So now I've got negative 4 over x minus 1 times my common denominator. The x minus 1's cancel out, and I have negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. So this is the equation that I'm left with once I get rid of all my denominators. So a negative 1 and a negative 8 is a negative 9. I'm going to move the 9 over here. And so the answer is x equals 15. Okay, please text me if you have any questions on these. I can send you more. Cut.